Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. I'm, of course, Gregor Guy.
My name's Casey.
And for your viewing pleasure, we will be presenting this week's episode of the Bangcast. This will be episode 31, I do believe. Taking that a little soft, quite honestly, because I'm about like 85% sure.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no clue on what number we're on.
Yeah, I don't know. Isn't it weird? It seems like the weeks just run together nowadays.
I mean, they always have.
Yeah. It's got ginger hair on my phone. Anyway, so what are we going to talk about here this particular week?
You already told me what we're talking about. We're going to be talking about the power outage that you were having. And
yes.
What are we talking about? How it's like to live with a power outage?
Well, I mean, there's going to be a couple layers to this, we'll say. Okay, so basically, this is what happened. There was I would have to assume, a pretty gnarly storm that rolled through on Tuesday. Now,
it was fairly brief, but it was powerful.
I did not witness this storm.
Right.
Because I, at that point in time, was at work. And it rained for about 3 minutes. And that was it. So I didn't think nothing of it.
Yeah, it was only probably 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes at my place.
Okay, now I heard some crazy shit about like hail and stuff like that.
I did not get any of that.
You did not get any hail?
It was just very windy and it was very powerful. And it rained really hard for like 15, 20 minutes. And my power went out only for about 20 minutes or so. And then it came back on.
Okay, well, and then moving forward from there, obviously, I didn't think anything of it while I was at work. I was like, it's nothing. Right. This is nothing burger kind of deal. Came home. On the way home, I kind of like started to get worried when I was, pulling off 95, and the traffic light at 95 was out.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. And I go down to the next traffic light, it's out. Royal Farms, no power. Next traffic light, it's out. I'm like,
Would you drive by your place to get to Royal Farms and then come back?
Well, no, I get off in Aberdeen.
Oh, okay. I got you. You just like going that way better than just going straight up 95?
4 miles less.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be. I would actually think it would be faster because once you get on,
it's the same amount of time, but it is 4 miles less.
Okay, I got you. All right. Plus, you can stop somewhere and get something
if
on your way home,
yes. Right? So I mean, yeah, I've been doing that for about like 6 months now.
Okay. Nobody here knows what we're talking about.
No. Anyway,
they're like, "What? Why do these idiots talk about something that?"
So anyway,
we understand.
Anyway, yes. So, and like I said, as soon as I made that turn, and then everything, the entire rest of the way home, everything was dark.
So Aberdeen was completely out?
Completely out.
Okay.
Completely out. And I knew if Aberdeen was completely out, I had no power in my house.
Right. I mean, there's a pretty good distance between that. I don't know where
there is.
I don't know where your power feeds from.
We're gonna circle back around to that.
Okay.
So, and then I started getting concerned because I started seeing like little branches and everything on the road. I'm like, am I going to come up on a down tree here?
Right.
Should I slow down from 55 miles an hour?
If it's
going down a back road?
If it's dark, yeah.
Didn't.
Yeah, okay.
Either way, didn't find a down tree. But obviously, when I did wind up getting to the house, darkness.
Right.
Total darkness, no power. And this was on Tuesday, remind you.
I would probably drive by your road like 3 times without that street light out there.
I can tell you a story about that too. Anyway, but now obviously it had to have been a gnarly storm because the power just came back on Saturday at about like 5 o'clock, I'll say.
Right.
Roundabouts time. So I was out of power for 5 days.
Right.
5 days. That's a long time to be without power.
Right. But I mean, you didn't have power in the house, but you have power. You have a cell phone that has power, so you can watch videos and you can entertain yourself, and you can always go to.
But you know, I had to charge it,
right?
And I kept forgetting my charger everywhere I went.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I mean, that's my own dumbass, but
don't have chargers with them.
Like I said, that's my own stupidity.
Right. Plus, you have your car. You could start your car and charge your phone that way too.
Yeah. Actually, I might have a charger in my car. I'm not 100% sure.
So this whole time you didn't have a charger. You actually had a charger.
Well, no, I didn't have a charger with me when I went places that had power.
Okay.
But I mean, either way, I was able to keep charge up.
Gotcha.
So. Yeah, but I mean, the problem is, you know, you watch 2 hours of YouTube, your phone went from 100 to 50%.
Right.
There's only so long that that's going to last.
You know, the other thing I could do is that I'd have to bring it in because I never actually showed people during our survive section, but the radio that I can crank.
Actually, you did bring it in and you did show it.
I didn't show it to the camera. I showed it to you.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean,
if you had something like that,
up.
you could have charged your phone off that.
I don't know if I'm willing to.
Sit there.
I don't know if I'm willing to exude that sort of effort to charge my fucking telephone.
But it also has a solar thing, so you could have set it outside and it would have charged you.
Yeah. Or I can just borrow, you know, charging cords from people.
Yeah, too.
Where I'm at a place that has electricity.
Right.
So, anyway, basically, what I wanted to talk about this week is what is going to happen when people lose power for an extended amount of time. Now, hear me out. I am probably in a vast minority of people who can actually realistically survive without power. I believe.
It's obviously going to be it would be a big change, and there would be definitely if we all lost power, if nobody had power, is that what we're talking about?
Well, I mean, no, I mean we can get there, but I mean, okay, let's take you for example. What would you do if you didn't have power for a week?
If I didn't have power for a week,
I kind of assume that you would be, you know, in the same camp that I would. You'd be okay.
I'd probably read books or something. I'd be all right. I mean, what am I going to do?
What are you going to use for light?
I think I have candles in the house.
I didn't have any candles.
Okay. Yeah, I think I got some candles. I mean,
my preparation skills were lacking.
Obviously, you just open the windows and you can sit outside on your deck or porch if you have one.
Well, it's 90 degrees and 95% humidity.
You get a fan. Well, you got no power. Oh, never mind. I mean, you do what you got to do. It would suck because I mean, I don't really want to live without central air conditioning ever again.
Yeah, I know. And I'll tell you right now, the basement in my house was key.
Yeah, my basement.
First of all, I'm 150% positive that it kept my dog alive.
Yeah, my basement is much
because it got pretty gnarly up here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and no AC for 5 days.
Yeah, at least keep the windows open so that the air can move through the house. And close the door.
You don't want to do that when it's, you know, like I said, 90 and 95% humidity outside. You do that at night after, you know, it gets dark, and you let the cool air in, and it keeps the house cool during the day.
Okay. Tips and tricks, people.
There's a science behind it.
Right.
So as soon as the outside air is cooler than the inside air, that's when you open it up.
Do you want to know? I don't know if I ever told this story on the podcast, but when I was in Afghanistan, people had like the locals there. They had like a coffee tin or some kind of bowl, and they'd pop a hole in the bottom of it, right? A little tiny hole, so it would like drip water out of it, and then they'd fill the container with water, and they'd have it sitting over top. They'd have like something where it sits, and it would hold it, and then they had like hay up along the window in like a so there's like a little trough that runs across, and it would drip. The water would drip down off the trough, and it would go down along the hay strands that were down the window. So basically, what the water does in the wet hay, when the air comes in, the water cools the air blowing into the house, and the water would slowly drip down the hay and moisten the hay, and it would cool down the house.
Kind of like a really poor man's air conditioning.
I mean, you got what you got.
Yeah, I mean, hey, realistically, I never even thought about, that particular, I guess, idea or process. I'm not even sure what to call it.
Right.
But I could see that actually working.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you can keep it out of, sunlight.
I was quite amazed by it.
If you keep it shaded, we'll say.
Well, there's no trees there, so it's definitely not in the shade.
Right, but it's inside the building. They're dwelling.
They live inside the house, correct? They stay in the shade, but the thing is on top of the window outside.
Oh, so this particular engineering device, we will call it at this point.
Right.
I got no better word for it.
Right.
Makeshift air conditioner,
correct.
Whatever. It's outside. It's not
right.
inside. I assumed that it would be inside.
That container is on the outside of the house.
I don't know why you would keep that on the.
I mean, that's the way they had it built. I don't know. I'm sure you could come up with all different kinds of ideas on how to improve or fix that kind of thing.
All right. I mean, that's fair. So this particular time, we'll move on from there. Me being without power, 5 days. This has been the longest that I have been involuntarily without power.
Involuntarily?
Involuntarily.
How often are you voluntarily without power?
Well, I mean, when I was with Boy Scouts and everything, we canoed down the entire Susquehanna River.
Right. I mean, yeah, you can get away that way. Go canoeing.
But that was voluntary.
Right.
Involuntary.
You go camping.
Power outage.
Right. Going camping.
So, I'm saying.
Have you seen these camping videos these days? These people are not actually camping. They have little generators and lights in the tent. They have like little fucking DVD players. They just sit there and watch videos on while they're camping. That's not camping, people. That is not camping. I mean, do what you want to do if that's what makes you happy, but do not call that camping, because that is not camping.
That is, what's a good analogy here? That is like a poor man's hotel.
Correct. Something like that. It's definitely not camping. I can tell you that much. If you have electrical devices in your tent, you are not camping.
Wait, hold on. Is there a power strip?
I'm sure there is.
If there is a power strip, yes, it cannot be classified as camping.
And then you try to pretend like you're roughing it out in the cold Siberia or Alaska or something like that, and you got like a heated, electrically heated sleeping bag.
Well, I mean,
you're cheating.
Yeah, cheating.
You're cheating.
Yeah, well, at the same point in time, if you're in Siberia. But I'd venture to say that that's probably more camping than.
If you have an electrical device while you're camping, you're not camping.
So that is your classification,
yes.
Level.
Yes.
So let's say
you want to video it.
Wait, let's say you go camping.
Right.
Do you bring your phone?
Okay, so if you use it to make yourself more comfortable, then I do not consider it camping.
Okay, so if
you're going to
watch a random video on your phone,
yes, you're no longer camping.
Okay.
You're no longer camping.
I mean, that's kind of the question I was getting
at.
Right. So, I mean, you know what? I wouldn't bring my phone.
Right.
If you want to call it camping in that sense.
But everybody's so attached to their phones nowadays. Be like, oh, what if something bad happens? I have to get this phone call like right now. You know what I mean?
That's why I'm saying if an EMP device ever goes off, 20% of the population will just automatically kill themselves.
They'd lose their fucking minds to start with.
That's what I'm saying. They would lose their fucking shit.
Right. I think one of the things, like, you can stay more connected with today's technology with your families and stuff like that. So you could live on the other side of the country and still be connected to your mom or your dad, or when you're going to college, you'd be still connected to them on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. But if we didn't have the technology we had nowadays, would people be moving so far away from home and be away from their families?
I don't know.
I don't think they would.
That's kind of a philosophical sort of question. I would think.
I think people would be more likely to stay local.
You would, right? I mean, probably more likely, but you would still have, if you didn't have a cell phone. Let's take this as an example, and you still had landlines. You would still be able to call,
right? That's true. And we've had landlines.
Now, granted, you won't be able to like FaceTime or any of this other bullshit they got.
I don't do any of that either.
Yeah. So, I'm curious as to what the longest you have involuntarily been without power has been.
I mean, would you consider deployments involuntary?
Well, no, you signed up for it.
Okay. And the longest that I've involuntarily, probably just a couple days.
Couple days, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. Not to me. I mean, it is what it is. I got no power. What am I gonna do?
Was it in any kind of extreme weather, conditions? Heat, cold, anything
it was,
like that?
It was a snowstorm.
It was a snowstorm. Okay, so it was cold.
Right.
Mm.
But I mean, I got clothes. I know how to look. You know me. I don't handle heat very well. But I can deal with the cold. I'm okay in the cold.
And that's fucked up because I'm the exact opposite. I can. Right. I mean, up until this year, I've been able to deal with the heat.
Right. I mean, you can.
I don't do cold.
Look, I can only go. I mean, I'm obviously I would be in my own house when the power's out, and I could walk around fucking naked. But I'm still gonna be fucking hot as shit. I'm not gonna have no fucking air. I'm not gonna have any fans blowing on me. But if I'm in the cold, I can put some thick clothes on. I can put layers on. I can lay in a blanket. I mean, I can stay warm. But when you're hot, there's literally no way of getting away from hot.
Cold water.
I mean, the water's not going to work.
Yeah, and this is, one problem that I definitely experienced.
Right. I mean, everything in the house uses
I had to drive to someone else's house to take a shower every night after work.
Right.
And it was like I said, sweltering heat and humidity. It was a bad couple days.
But would you have rather it being cold? Would you?
No.
You would not have rather to be able to just put some like jackets and sweaters on, and live through 5 days of cold weather with no power, or 5 days of hot weather with
5 days of hot weather for sure.
I'm so on the other side of that.
I was okay. I'll put it like this. I obviously wasn't home during the day and everything,
right?
But at night.
Yeah.
I was able to keep the house, we'll say, on an average of about 72, 73 degrees.
I would think it would be hotter than this.
I know, you would think, but I mean, like I said, that's why you keep everything closed up during the day.
Right.
Open it up as soon as the outside temperature gets higher than the inside temperature, or lower, I'm sorry.
Right.
There's a science behind it.
All right.
So 2 or 3 days is the furthest you ever made it.
Or the furthest that I ever.
The furthest you ever been forced to make.
Yeah, forced to make it. You said involuntarily.
Right. Yeah, and the only reason I say that is because you signed up. So.
Right.
Okay. Well, you're telling me when you were deployed, you didn't have electricity.
Sometimes I did. Sometimes I didn't. Depends on where you are and what you're doing.
No, in country and everything.
Right.
Okay. I mean, that's fair, I guess.
Yeah. So probably like the most without any power whatsoever is probably like a couple months.
Couple months.
Right. I just read books. I mean, I had a job, so I did my job.
Load shit up.
Mm-hmm. We play board games, card games.
Board games, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to play cap in a board game, though.
Yeah.
I'd always win. It wouldn't be fun.
You play yourself. I'm very good at playing myself at board games. I always win.
As we have learned from a previous episode. So, anyway, I was, like I said, this was a 5-day ordeal. Right. Now, okay, you know, it should be stated too that I do own a generator.
Right.
So
you weren't completely without power.
I wasn't completely without power. However,
did it run your air conditioning?
No.
No, it won't run your air conditioning.
Well, actually, yes, it will. But
okay. Did you have it running the air conditioning?
On Friday I did.
Okay.
Because Friday was a little gnarly. But yeah, I mean, the main thing you want to know what really shocked me.
What's that?
Was I didn't run the generator for the first 3 days because I kept getting these text messages from BGE, be like, "Oh, your power's gonna be back on by 11 tomorrow. Right. Oh, your power's gonna be back on by 6:45 tomorrow morning. Oh, then it's like, your power's gonna be back on by 11 tomorrow night." And eventually, I just felt like I was being lied to. I'm like, okay, all right. So let me go source some gasoline and fire this generator up.
So what's your Okay, so your generator runs off gasoline, because that's what I was going to ask. Because I know, I think my parents' generator is natural oil or natural gas. It runs off whatever the house runs off of.
I'm looking into getting a LP, generator. So
okay,
next time something like this happens, use the tank outside.
Right.
I'm already looking into that.
That works.
Yeah. So I mean, but no, this is just like a commercial like construction kind of generator thing.
Right.
So gasoline.
Gotcha. Is it loud? Super loud?
Super loud.
I know.
My ears still hurt.
Yeah, the one my parents has is very quiet. The one
a gas one would be.
The one we used to have was a gasoline one, and they had they built a shed around it, and it was very loud, but that definitely made it quieter.
Muffled a little bit the sound.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, I was saying that. What really shocked me was, this is probably like 3.5 days in. I'm like, shit. My refrigerator and freezer is probably fucked. So, I actually came up to your place on Friday.
Right.
We, did a little bit of work and everything. And on the way home, I stopped by a store, picked up a bag of ice. And I'm like, just in case.
Right.
Just in case. Now, it should be also said that I had a bag of ice in the freezer from when my hand was broken.
Gotcha.
So, I came home, opened that, expecting, a big bag of water. But no, it was still frozen. Didn't even melt. Didn't even melt.
So when you had your generator running, did you have any of your kitchen appliances running off of it?
I didn't fire my generator up till Friday evening.
Okay. Did you even consider the refrigerator?
No, I didn't even care about it realistically.
Okay.
I mean, I don't keep a lot in my house, so it wouldn't have been a big loss.
I thought you said you were saving up on foods and stuff like that.
I mean, I got it's not a lot, but I mean, it's a decent amount.
Right.
The biggest disappointment would have been I would have lost like 4 pork loins.
Gotcha. Pork loins aren't that expensive, are they? Yeah, I don't think they are. I think steaks are generally the more important meats that you would buy at a store.
Yeah, but I mean, I if I get a steak, I'm making it then and there.
I think on the
just
ranking,
like I got a steak in the fridge right now.
The ranking of price on meats in the supermarket, you got chicken's probably the lowest, and then you got pork. Then I would put ground beef and then steak.
And fish is probably
higher. Do you think?
I think fish is at the top.
Okay.
Fish is really expensive, which is disappointing because I love fish.
Yeah, I mean, and then you got shellfish too is probably higher than fish. I don't know if that you would separate those two. Like crab would crab be more expensive than actual fish?
Not imitation crab meat.
Right. I mean, I do like imitation crab meat, which is actually a fish, by the way. It is Alaskan pollock most of the time. They just flavor it.
There's another name for it. It's like Surrey or something.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
Isn't Surrey the one of the like Amazon the voice thing?
Oh no, that's Siri. That's
okay.
That's Apple, I think.
Okay. I don't know. You got they got Siri, and then they got
Alexa.
Alexa. That's the
Cortana
Amazon one.
is Microsoft.
Which what? Oh, Cortana. Yeah, Cortana's from. I thought that was a little. I thought it was kind of cool, to be honest with you, that they called the AI for Microsoft Cortana after.
Hey, I'm talking to Halo.
Yeah, after the Halo AI. I thought that was pretty cool, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a particular conversation that I'm.
I don't use any of those.
Ready to have, by the way.
What? What kind of conversation? What are you talking about?
I don't know. I mean, apparently you can like talk to these things. Like,
no, I don't talk to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm not prepared to make.
Yeah, I'm not prepared to start talking to artificial intelligence personally. Not really interested.
I'll do it because we need to know how to defeat them.
Although, if you go onto if you go for help on any of the programs you have, it automatically takes you to an artificial intelligence. And when you're asking questions, it's the artificial intelligence that's answering you.
There you go. You heard her first.
You didn't hear it first. It's everywhere.
Right. It may be everywhere, but maybe they haven't heard it.
No.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, you're not talking to a real person. You very rarely ever are on the computer. Just think about Elon Musk and all the bots that he's dealing with on Twitter.
Yeah,
probably half the responses you get on a program like Twitter is probably bots.
Well, I wouldn't call Twitter a program; it would be a platform.
I would call it a bot. Twitter itself is a bot.
Twitter itself is a bot. There you go. What's good? You heard it here first.
Social engineering at its worst.
So, anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and move on from there.
All right. I get off topic all the time. I think I'm the one that leads the off topic brigade.
It's okay. Every once in a while, it takes us down an interesting path.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, let's explore this a little more. This is what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, oh, and then I'll start asking questions, and you're like,
I don't know.
Kind of like, yeah.
Because while somebody's, this is one of my biggest issues is that sometimes when somebody's talking, I start thinking. And they're continuing to talk, and I'm not listening. I'm actually going off in my own head on a different topic because I thought of something.
You're heading that way while someone's...
Right. That is one of my biggest personal issues.
Yeah.
Somebody says something, I think of something, and then my mind wanders off on that topic. So this person still thinks that they have my attention, but I'm actually off in left field somewhere. I have a hard time focusing in general, to be honest with you. So it's not just somebody talking to me or that I don't think what they're saying is important. It's that whenever I'm doing something, I can actually be doing something and I start thinking about something and my mind wanders off.
Fair enough.
I have issues.
Obviously. So, anyway, during this 5-day period, I tried to contact, obviously the electric company to just get a statement on, in particular, this is what I really wanted to know.
What?
Why do they keep pushing, why did the date start at one thing and then they actually like scaled it back and then it just kept fucking growing and growing and growing and growing, with these text message alert things. Like, in my mind, that's just trying to, like, get people's hopes up and everything. So I wanted to, like, reach out and get a comment from them, and they obviously did not respond.
So would you be more angry if they didn't give you updates at all, or that they were giving you updates making you think that they were doing something about it, and they actually weren't?
A second.
Just having nothing at all?
Yes. I mean, I'd rather, first of all, okay, in my mind, this is how this should have played out. It should be like, there are a lot of people out of power right now.
Right.
We're working our best to get everyone's power restored, but we have no estimate as to when your power will be back.
Okay, so you think no?
I would have been happier with that than, hey, it'll be back on 11 p.m. tomorrow. It'll be back on 6:45 tomorrow morning. It'll be back on 11 p.m. tomorrow. It'll be back on 11 p.m. the next day. It'll be back on 11 p.m. the next day.
So in general, they should just say, they should,
yes, they should just be like, we don't know. We're working our best.
Working on the issue and just giving you updates throughout the day saying that we're working on we're working on the issue. We understand what you're going through or whatever. It's just saying it in the right way, and we're working on it. We have no estimate when
the power is going to come back on. Yes, yes, I think that is so much better than just pushing the date, because I know I have 6 texts on my phone of different times.
So I can see that you're a little angry about it. What if they thought that they knew what the problem was, but they kept on it kept on being worse than what they thought?
Well, I'm calling that BS.
Well, I mean, let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt, okay, and then I'll tell you what really happened.
Okay. Well, benefit of the doubt. Just think of it this way. Benefit of the doubt. They thought they knew what the problem was, and it was worse than they thought it was. Or, remember when you called me and you said you had power, and then as soon as they got the power went out again? Maybe they thought they had it fixed, and then all of a sudden, it was worse further down the line, and it blew another fuse or something. Mm-hmm. And then they had to go back out and fix it again. Okay. Benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt, okay.
Okay. But, so do you have a different opinion on that? No? Okay. All right, so tell me now what really happened.
Okay, what really happened was they had the road closed, the entire Glenville Road, from the old house that we used to turn at, right there, all the way out to 155. Trees down.
Trees down?
Trees down. They fried transformers and everything, and they knew that they didn't have enough transformers in stock.
How do you know that they didn't?
I talked to the electric people at the liquor store.
Oh, okay. So they didn't think that maybe just one of the transformers.
They knew as soon as they knew on Wednesday that they didn't have enough transformers.
Okay.
All right. But I kept getting these messages.
Maybe that's just a thing that they think they have to say.
Well, I mean, and this is what I'm saying. I was like, they're probably looking at it as like, let's keep people's hopes up.
Right.
No, tell me the truth.
Right.
And I don't know if that's like a generational thing or whatever, or me just being my particular type of personality. I'd rather know the truth,
Right.
rather than just, you fucking trying and keeping pumping my fucking hopes and dreams up.
I think that's like a problem that it's just not based on this specific issue, but I think that's a problem that goes around everywhere right now. Is that everybody's trying to. I don't know. They think that you're too sensitive to know the actual truth of the matter. Just if you just tell me the truth, I have a better understanding of it.
Right. I know what I need to do. Like, right. I would have gotten gasoline like another 2 days earlier, right. And just had the generator running. I mean,
so basically, the most important thing that I'm trying to say is like it's better to not say anything at all if you're going to lie. But but the truth is the best.
Right, and that's exactly what I, right. The kind of the point that I'm getting to with these, service update text message things. I feel like I was lied to.
Right. By
Baltimore Gas and Electric. There you go. You heard it here first. I'm saying it. Right. I feel like I was lied to by these people.
Yeah, that's always an issue.
Especially since I spoke with the technicians that were working on some areas, and they knew what was going on.
Right. And I certainly respect anyone in any company that lie, or respect them less if they lie to me.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and the unfortunate thing is, with electric companies, they're basically like a monopoly in an area.
Right.
In areas.
So, yeah, there's nothing you can really do.
Nothing you can do about it.
Right.
So I don't know if that's something that needs to be looked at further down the road or whatever. But at the same point in time, what I am telling you, electric companies out there, just be honest with people.
Or any utility company.
Yes, Comcast.
Comcast, you got Verizon.
Yes, yeah. The list goes on and on and on.
Don't just if you're gonna lie, just don't say anything. But best thing you can do is just tell the truth and hope the people are understanding.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks.
What are they going to say? Oh, or will they have like 50 people being like, "Oh, you don't know the estimate yet? What kind of company are you?" Is there? I'm sure there is people that are actually doing that.
Well, I'm sure there are too. But I mean, me personally, I would rather just hear the truth. Let me know what it is so I can plan accordingly. Right. Okay, let's think about this now. If some kind of natural disaster happens, if there's like an asteroid plummeting toward Earth, on a direct impact course,
right?
Do you want the media to be like, no, everything's fine, or do you want them to tell me like, yeah, guess what, we're all fucked?
I would like to know.
But, exactly.
But in society, if you said the world was going to end tomorrow, what do you think would happen?
Mass panic?
Well, yeah, there would definitely be mass panic, but I mean, I think more along the lines, I think most people would just call and try to spend time with their family and the people they live, or at least try to be in contact with them and speak with them. But that would probably overload the first of all the internet and the phone lines and the waves and stuff like that. And then I think people would be trying to get to certain places, and I think all the roads would be blocked up. You'd be spending the last hours of your life in the middle of a traffic jam.
Oh my God! You might as well just kill yourself.
So that's definitely a hard thought when you try to think it through. If the world was going to end tomorrow, should you tell people?
Yes.
But
I believe that a vast majority of people would want to know.
I think everybody would want to know. But
yes. Is everybody, whether they even admit it or not?
Is everybody knowing the best?
When they know, they're going to freak out. But
right,
that's. I'd rather know, personally.
Yeah, obviously, I'd rather know as well. But I think it would be definitely a very mixed reaction among the masses. I mean, there's going to be people like, well, there's no tomorrow. I might as well do exactly what I want right now. And what they want is probably something bad that would probably make somebody else's last hours worse.
Some purge type shit.
I mean, everybody's going to die anyways. I don't think they purge. I mean, some people might be like, oh, I've always wanted to know what it was like to do this very bad thing to somebody. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not going to live tomorrow. I don't have to face the consequences. There's no consequences because there's no tomorrow.
I mean, that's a fair assessment.
There's people like that out there. I think that is the minority of people, though. I think most people would try to be near people they love or like or want to be in contact with them. I think that is the majority.
I still believe that it would, ensue mass panic. And this is also why I believe that they just won't tell you
right
what is really going on.
I mean, the truth is, I think... For the most part, I think I know for the most part what everything is that is actually going on, even through the lies of what the media and the politicians and stuff they try to tell you. I mean, I think the basic fact is that our money is really worth nothing. It's only worth something because you believe it is, and because the government says, and that you believe in the government to back it. And the money that we have is backed by oil and energy, and the fact that we're losing control over the monopoly of oil and energy right now is basically driving our capital to be worth less and less and less and less and less, and we're going to have to find some other way to back our capital, and more likely than not it's going to be through the energy of people, either through ideas or by labor.
Unfortunately, that statement is actually incorrect. The US dollar is gaining on basically every single currency out there on the face of the earth right now.
So why do you think that is?
Because I look at charts.
No, why do you think it is?
I honestly do not understand it.
Okay.
Quite honestly.
Do you think it's because the rest of the world believes that it's worth more?
I think the rest of the world is dealing with the same problems that we are, just to more of a higher extent.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
So the U.S. bubble right now
is, it's a lot tighter, I'll say.
Okay.
It's not smaller, it's just tighter.
Right, okay. I mean, that's always been my personal thought on basically our money.
I mean, I do agree with what you're saying about, the, federal government backing the currency and everything.
Right.
I agree.
And our federal government is backed by oil and power and energy.
But we are not a major oil-producing country.
But we control it because you have to, in many countries, you have to use the U.S. dollar to purchase oil.
Well, yeah, the petrodollar. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
And if they get away from the petrodollar, then our currency drops significantly in value.
Yeah, we're going to have a Venezuela situation on our hand.
Correct.
All I'm saying is GTA. If you don't know, look it up.
And if you wonder what all those wars were back in, or not all of them, but some of them in the Middle East, especially when they overthrew the government in Libya, because Libya was going to get away from the petrodollar, and that's why the country was overthrown. Not because they wanted to help people become free. It's because Gaddafi wanted to get away from the petrodollar.
There you go. You heard it here first. Special insight from a veteran of the United States Army. I guess I don't know where else to go from there. Let's just go ahead and end that.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you found any bit of this content enjoyable, remember to like, share,
subscribe, and hit the bell button.
There we go. We have completed episode 31 of the Bangcast.
It's a little bit of a mixed bag.
I was going to say it has been a hodgepodge, mix and match kind of.
Right. I have a hard time staying on topic.
Well, I mean, on top of that, this is one where I just wanted to rant, and I just went on a couple different rants, and you went on a couple rants. And
right.
Yeah, either way, didn't have power for 5 days. That shit sucks. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm, of course, Gregor Guy.
My name's Casey.
And everyone out there watching, enjoy the rest of your week.